guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, what's up? My name is vianney.strick. Thank you so much for being here. So today I decided to just hang out with you guys. I wanted to play around with makeup. I have a new eyeshadow palette, highlighter palette, a new bronzer, liquid lipstick. I mean, I do have a couple products to try out, but I also wanted to kind of chit chat, give you guys a little life update, and just kind of like what I want for this year. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy hanging out with me, and if you like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join my squad. Let's get into the video. So let's get started. I wanted to do this video because frankly, I just wanted to hang out with you guys. I do have a couple products to try out, and I also want to give you guys updates on products that I've been loving. So my last video, I actually started out with the Wet n Wild lip treatments. If you see any Wet n Wild products in this video that you want to know more about, definitely check out my last video because I did like a full-on new Wet n Wild products. So for eyebrows, you guys know the drill. I like to go in with my Gimme Brow from Benefit in the shade 4.5, but I have actually been doing something different lately. Instead of doing Ka-Brow, I've actually gone on with a pencil because I've been trying to make my eyebrows a little bit more subtle. I don't want them to be too dark or too sharp. I do like to go in with either the Goof Proof pencil or the Precisely My Brow, and I do have the shade 4. Little update on my microblading. I'm actually getting a touch-up next week, and I decided to film it because a lot of you guys have been asking me on my social medias if I still like it, what do I feel about it, how does it fade over time. I will be doing that and updating you guys because it's time for me to get a touch-up. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I actually have a new palette. I don't know how new it is, but I just got it in PR from Kokie Cosmetics. It's called the Artist Palette Goddess. Warm tone brownish reddish palette. I have swatched it and it looks very promising. I really like the color palette. And then I also wanted to play around with the Tati Beauty palette. I actually do really like this palette. I never did a review on it because I got it during the second launch and I figured most people didn't care about my review at this point. But the reason why I got this out is because I actually want to play with one of the glitters on top of the Kokie palette. I'm just going to play around, do a whole look with this eyeshadow palette. I'll speed it up to make this video not so long, and then we can go add the glitter. Alright, so this palette actually worked really nice. It actually reminds me almost of the formula of Wet n Wild shadows. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit powdery. Well, yeah, it just gives a lot of kickback, but it actually looks really nicely on the eyes and it builds nicely. I actually think that I prefer this formula over the Wet n Wild ones, and of course the packaging is absolutely stunning. The shimmers are also really pretty. They're very buttery and really pigmented. I'm really happy. I actually really love Kokie Cosmetics. I feel like they're very underrated. They are sold online and at Walmart, and if you didn't know, I do have a discount code with them. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I will put it down here. It's for 25% off, which is a really big deal because it's a really good sale. So I definitely approve of this, and we are still going to put some glitter on. I'm actually going to use some glitter glue because I have used this palette a couple times, actually a lot of times, and I do like it. It's very pigmented. The glitters actually do stay on all day without the glitter glue, but when you are applying it, you do get some fallout, and even though I haven't done my makeup on my face yet, I still don't like getting glitter on my bare skin because I find it difficult to take off. So I'm just using the Too Faced glitter glue. I do have acrylic, so I'm first going to try to go on with a brush and see how that goes. See, if you have to use a brush, as long as you use glitter glue, I feel like that's just the way to go, because even though it won't be pressed as nice like it would with your finger, since you do have a tacky base, I feel like the brush will be just fine. Wow, look at that. By the way, I'm using the glitter shade in the shade Soothe, so it's actually the brown row, the top one. These glitters are probably my favorite glitters to work with because they're on a palette, they're eye safe, and they're not loose, but they're also not like sticky. Like, they're just so perfect. And I honestly stopped using glitters for so long because it's just kind of a hassle, but these are so nice. I'm gonna go back in with this palette real quick, and I'm just gonna take this dark matte chocolate brown shade, and I'm just gonna start deepening out and blending the outer corner. All right, so I'm gonna go off camera and apply some lashes, and I'll be right back and we can move on to the face. I do have a new foundation, new bronzer, highlight palette. I have a lot of things to try out with you guys, so I'll be right back. I am so sorry, but I have no idea what lashes these are. I have a really bad habit of like not putting them back in their box. And I can't figure it out, but if I do, I will list it down below, I promise. So really quickly, I'm gonna go in with this primer. This is the Wet n Wild Prime Focus Primer Serum in Hydrating. If you guys saw my last video, you would know I have been obsessed with this. It's just like a really good primer if you just want hydration, a little bit of dewiness, and a little bit of tackiness, and it looks good under the skin. Doesn't accentuate pores, smells good, not too heavy, and I love it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of trying to skip through this because if you do watch all my videos, I don't want to look redundant. So for foundation, I'm actually trying out something from Hailey's Beauty. They are sold at select Targets and also online, of course. So this is called the Reform Liquid Luxe Luminous Finish Liquid Foundation. I do have the shade 4.3. So every foundation that I've actually tried from Hailey's Beauty, I have loved, so I have very high hope for this. Online, it does have 5-star reviews. It is $26, and the only thing I will say is that it doesn't have a very good shade range. There are only 12 shades, and yeah, it says it's supposed to be a medium coverage, luminous, liquid formulation, and apparently it's good for normal combination or oily skin. And it's supposed to give you a nice healthy glow. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and do a couple pumps, and while I blend this out on my face, let's catch up, guys. If you guys don't follow me on social media, you wouldn't know, but I have been traveling so much. I went to Mexico for Christmas. I have half of my family over there, so I always go for the holidays. And then I actually went to visit more family in Germany right after, and I was there for New Year's. So I've been out of the country for so long. I got back only about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. By the way, did you guys notice how I didn't stop posting? That was one of the key things. I really didn't want to mess up my posting schedule. I wanted to make sure to have 2 videos a week, and it went really well. I've been traveling a lot and it's been really fun, but I've also noticed that my channel has been doing really good, so I really want to make sure that this is my priority, and no matter where I go and for how long I go, that this channel keeps on going as much as it can. And speaking of traveling, I'm actually going out of town tomorrow. We are going to Seattle and Washington tomorrow. Wyatt and I are actually going on a trip together because our anniversary actually falls in between Christmas and New Year's. So it's always really hard to like plan anything around that on top of everything that we're doing. So we decided to just do it at the beginning of January, and I'm really excited. Definitely follow me on social media if you want to kind of follow us around. By the time you're watching this video, I am currently there right now. So if you are interested, definitely go on my Instagram. I will be posting a lot of stories and pictures. So this foundation is blended out, and I will say, it is a little bit dark for me, obviously. This is why we like turtlenecks, because bronzer. I was this tan a couple of months ago because this is the exact same shade that I always get with their foundations. So it's safe to say that I'm getting a little bit pale. So off the bat, the foundation looks very, very luminous, very glowy. It gave me medium coverage, which I believe that's actually exactly what it claimed. I will say it's a little bit on the thicker side, like it's a little bit sticky to like blend out, but it doesn't look super heavy. When it comes to foundation, for me, it really has to do on how it looks at the end of everything. Let's see how it works with the rest of the products that I have. So for concealer, I've actually been obsessed with the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer. I use the shade Medium Sand, and it is just so good. If you want a full review of this and comparison to the original, I do have a video. I can put it right here, but it's safe to say that I really do love this concealer. I actually haven't put it down since that review, so that tells you something. Usually this concealer isn't that light on me, but since this foundation's a little bit dark, it looks light. How are you guys doing? How is the new year treating you? Definitely let me know. Do you guys have any resolutions? I know some people might not like resolutions because they're very cliche, that's for sure. I forgot to wet my beauty blender, so I'm just gonna do this. I know that they can be a little cliche, especially because I know a lot of people don't actually like follow through with them. But I think that it's always good to keep growing and keep trying to be a better version of yourself. And if it takes a new year for you to do that, I say take advantage of it. Definitely let me know what you guys are trying to work on yourself. And if you don't have anything, definitely look for something, because we can always keep on growing and becoming better people, or just better at what we do, better at our profession, better mental health. I mean, we could always work on ourselves. The last year for me was an interesting year because I actually grew a lot as a person. I really think that last year I probably grew the most out of all my life. Is that what being 25 is like? I just feel like mentally, even physically, spiritually, I just feel like I matured more. And I learned how to, I don't know, just deal with feelings better. And I will say, the reason why I feel like I started trying to figure out like how I can be better as a person or dealing with things, how can I be more patient, things like that, is because I did actually go through a lot last year. Nothing too crazy, but I went through different experiences that really tested me, really tested my patience, really tested my choices that I've made. And I feel like because of that, I started, you know, just kind of trying to figure out what kind of person I want to be. And you know, it kind of sucks that sometimes we have to rely on like tough situations to like try to make us better people. But hey, at least you're learning something from the situation, and at least you're getting something out of it. But I would definitely advise you guys not to wait until something bad happens to like learn more about yourself. I think you should definitely start doing that. Actually, you should do that at all times. But like I said, if that's not something you thought about, a new year is definitely a really good time to start doing that. Take care of yourself. See what you could improve on more. By the way, I'm using the Wet n Wild Loose Powder in Banana. It's a little bit dark for me usually, but right now, since my foundation is pretty dark, I was trying to tone down that concealer, and as you guys can see, definitely tone it down. If you are lighter than me though, I don't recommend the banana shade. Definitely use the translucent. And as far as fitness goes, I still haven't reached my fitness goals. I can put the video right up here about my 20-pound weight loss. I still want to lose more weight. I don't necessarily want to share how much because it's not all about pounds, but I do have some specific goals in mind for myself just to keep me on track. I know that can be very stereotypical that everybody wants to lose weight for the new year, but to be honest, I've been losing weight since last year, so for me, like, I just want to keep that going. I'm quickly going to go back to the Kokie palette, and you guys know, as always, I'm going to take the two darkest shades, which is the red and the chocolate, and I'm going to put that on my lower lash line, and then I'm going to smoke it out with the two transition shades. Okay, so I'm actually going to do something that I never do. I'm going to put some black eyeliner in my waterline because I feel like there's a really big contrast with my white waterline. So I'm actually using the Milani Stay Put retractable liner. This is like really pigmented. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. By the way, as you can tell, I already put on some mascara on my lower lash line. This is very intense for 2 p.m. I feel like my lower lash line looks way too heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and let that mascara dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna try to fix that. So for bronzer, I have something very exciting, also from Gerard Cosmetics. They came out with matte bronzers. They came out with 4 shades. This is the shade Heat Wave. And on the back it says, achieve a sun-kissed look with this blendable, long-wearing matte bronzer. Rich pigmentation allows you to add buildable depth and warmth to desired areas. It does come with a mirror, which is really nice, and the pen size is actually really, really big. Since this is pretty warm, I'm actually going to go in with some contour real quick. I'm going to just use the Wet n Wild Caramel Toffee contour thingy just to add some dimension so that way it doesn't look like orange on my skin tone. By the way, this foundation so far is looking absolutely stunning. So now I'm going to go in with this. Okay, so right off the bat, it is very powdery. Again, a lot of kickback, kind of like the eyeshadows, and I'm kind of afraid of it. So let me take off like most of it and kind of go from there. It actually looks really pretty on the skin. Let me not forget to get my neck because this is crucial for today. Wow, I look so tan. It doesn't look bad, it actually looks really pretty on the skin, but when it comes to shades, there are only 4, and this is the only one that works for me, and I do feel like it's a little bit too orangey, even though I do like a warm bronzer. Not that it's not a good bronzer, but it is very delicate and very, very pigmented, so you definitely have to be careful with it, but this will last you a really long time. It is completely matte. It ended up blending out nicely, and it looks fine on the skin. You know, it doesn't emphasize texture or anything like that. It's just extremely pigmented, so definitely just be conscious of that when you do, if you do purchase this bronzer. So for blush, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to go back to my Wet n Wild reformulated Color Icon blushes. My favorite is Mellow Wine. Guys, I know that you probably already know about these Wet n Wild blushes, but the reformulation ones are so much nicer. They're not as powdery, just as pigmented, and even easier to blend. So definitely recommend these. Right, so for highlight, I actually have a brand new, again, Kokie Cosmetics. This is the last Kokie Cosmetics product that I'm talking about, but they did come out with a strobing palette. This is, I guess this is the only shade. It says, choose the shade that best suits your skin tone and layer the shades together. I actually have swatched it before, as you guys can see, my little fingerprints. This reminds me so much of the Huda Beauty highlighter palette because this, like gold shade is actually a cream and the rest are powders. So this is what they look like. I'm not gonna use the cream shade because I just have so much powder on my face right now and I just don't think it would go well. But I'm first gonna take the darker shade, which is like the bronzier shade. By the way, they felt really, really nice. Like the powders feel like a little bit wet, so that's really nice. So I'm gonna take this first and kind of just, you guys know me, do the overall highlight. Wow, this is really pretty. Now I'm gonna go in with a more precise brush and I'm gonna take the gold shade. Oh my God, this is like so blinding. I haven't worn a blinding highlight in such a long time that it's like shocking to me. Look at that, this literally looks wet. Oh my God, I think I'm going overboard. These powders are like almost like half creams. You guys see that? They act as if they were like creams, but they're actually powders. So I feel like the staying power is probably going to be really good for it. And obviously they look wet because they pretty much almost are. So if you're into very, very intense wet highlights, this is the one for you. I feel like this is exactly what Huda Beauty is, which is, I think it's such an Instagram makeup kind of brand, and this to me is like an Instagram highlight. And I actually still need to try out these liquid lipsticks. They're called the Pop Beauty Permanent Pout Matte Lip Paint, and right now this is the shade Butter Babe. So I'm first gonna line my lips. I've been really digging a dark lip liner, so this is the ColourPop BFF3. All right, now let's put this nude on top. It looks like a warm peachy nude. It has a flat little applicator. It's interesting. Oh, this is like really pink and corally. Oh. I actually really like the lip color. I just don't think it goes with the eyes because it's more of a corally cool tone, and this is definitely a warm tone orangey. I really do like this lip color, but it like already dried down absolutely completely matte, and it is a little bit drying. Obviously it's a matte liquid lipstick, but it looks really nice. I am going to add Delarza Cosmetics gloss in the shade I'm Busy because it's a little bit more warm tone and it might make the look a little bit better. That looks so nice. This lip gloss is really, really nice. Ooh, I love that. So I'm quickly just gonna set my face with the L'Oreal Shake and Glow Lumi. Alrighty guys, so this is how the look turned out. I feel like it actually looked a lot better than I thought it would be. Not because I didn't have confidence in myself, but some of the products, it was just kind of like a learning curve on how to use them, but I actually love the way this look turned out. The foundation is looking absolutely spectacular. Every other product was really nice, and yeah, I love the way it looked. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this chill kind of play around with makeup kind of video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I do have a couple videos planned out, but just let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see. I love hearing your suggestions and then giving you guys those videos. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.